One of the best kept secrets in the Acadiana real estate market is now out. Brian Gotreaux has moved over to Real Broker. Brian, man, super excited to have you jump on board, man. Your career has been an impressive one to follow. You got a huge following that's been running around, and I'm sure your phone's been ringing a little bit too.
Yeah, loving it. Loving it. Thank you. Good morning.
So for those that don't know, Brian brings over almost 400 sales in his 10-year career, totaling over $62 million in sales. He has sold all over Acadiana. He's sold a little bit in New Orleans. He's caught St. Charles Parish. He's caught St. Tammany Parish. He probably snuck in a couple other ones in there that we don't know about. I'm sure that I'm popping in, but a wealth of knowledge to be able to jump in and bring in. And man, I'm beyond excited to have you here. So.
Awesome. Thank you for having me, Robbie. I'm really looking forward to the move, enjoying the transition. It's been smoother than expected, and looking forward.
That's awesome. So I guess the big question turns into what moved your cheese. We had this talk a good bit whenever we were in the middle of trying to figure out what's what and what's moving.
Yeah, definitely. So that book, Who Moved My Cheese, made a huge impact in my life about 30 years ago. It's kept my eyes on what's going on in the world around us, and just seeing some things in the real estate industry. We've had a lot of changes, as you and I know, and the public's going to get trickled down on as far as the changing environment in real estate. And I really like the direction that Real is going. Technology, the pursuit of AI, the agent-friendly surroundings, the agent-centric model. I'm liking it a lot.
That's good, man. So I think one of the things when we were chatting, I mean, at the end of the day, you just wanted to sell a whole bunch of real estate, and that was really kind of there's a lot of things that go on when people are kicking around moving. And one of the things that was pretty prevalent to me was like, man, I want to sell a bunch of real estate, and how do we be able to do that? And that was just some of the things that ended up working its way there.
Yes. The tools to be able to sell more, the tools to be able to service our clients better. Very attractive.
So specifically, what were some of the things that jumped out there that made you want to make that move?
Watching some of at first it was seeing the top agents moving there. Like, okay, something's really going on there. What's going on? I've been looking at Real for about 2 years now. It's been a journey, watching to see how they were going to evolve. I've enjoyed watching the evolution of the company, and it got to where I was getting FOMO, like I'm missing out here. I need to jump in. It's time.
I'll tell you what, man, our team meeting has been quite awesome. We've got a lot of production that sits in this sales meeting. I mean, there at any given moment, there could probably be, out of the top 50, a good 30 to 40% of them are right here with this brokerage, sharing some knowledge. And I think one of the things that was really cool to me was how open everybody was with sharing some of their trade secrets to be able to get just a little bit better. In places past for me, I've gone in places past, and it's almost like, we would get some ideas on how to get going, but we didn't necessarily get the how to and what would move the needle to be able to get there. Everywhere from Sean to Allison Finch, we've had Paige, we've had Jalen, we've had a lot of really heavy hitters jump through to be able to go and share some of the things that are going on and working with them that I've been able to go and implement into my business immediately. Getting an idea of some of the things that are coming up on the market before they go on the market, that has been pretty powerful too. Getting some off-market opportunities inside the brokerage. I've sold, I moved my team office over here in December, and since the move, I've already had a couple of deals pop up just because of being in the room towards the end of the just the end of the sales meeting and sharing some things that are coming up, and it's been wonderful.
Yeah, that's a great tool to have. Yeah, especially among the agents, with the most clients, the most exposure.
Yeah. So another one of the things that ended up popping up, you do a little bit of recruiting, and I think you had a pretty substantial profit share that you were working coming with Keller Williams, which I know they were a great company for you. They've done essentially everything you knew. So, I know we all left on good terms. It was a great spot. They're under great leadership, and we want to continue to see them do well. We're certainly excited to have you move on, but let's talk a little bit about the profit share that was going on, because that was another one of the things that ended up moving the needle for you.
Yeah. I over the years have been able to help and mentor a number of agents into Keller Williams. Keller Williams is a wonderful company for training and growth. Definitely nothing negative to say about my experiences at Keller Williams with the company. And moving forward, I look to continue doing the same thing. People that want to get into real estate, I'm very happy with my career in real estate. Very happy to help people move forward into that career. The mentorship program, I think at Real is just as beneficial as it was at Keller Williams. Maybe a little more attractive with the stock shares if those people are interested in those items. So it's been more of an agent attraction thing, where people just see my success and want to.
Would you be willing to share a little bit about the profit share that you guys were getting and what that looks like compared to the revenue share? Or
profit
share, if you're comfortable with sharing the profit share for month.
Sure.
Do the math that we were talking about for you too.
Yeah. So I haven't realized any gains with Real currently, yet as far as that goes.
But a week and a half.
Yeah, right. Keller Williams, they got
to move over. They got to move over with you to be able to get there. But I wanted to kind of walk through what that happened to look like, because I know that was something that was important to you.
Yeah, at KW we had profit share. So when you recruited agents or sponsored agents is the term I prefer, into Keller Williams, we were rewarded with company profit shares, from company dollar of closings in the market center, for bringing in talent into the market center. That's their attraction model, is to bring in talent and reward those that bring the talented individuals to the company. So, of course, it's profit share. It's a share of the monthly profits. On the 21st of every month, we got a dividend deposited according to the production and profitability of the company. From what I can see with Real is
a little bit different.
Yeah.
So, it actually comes right off the top. So whatever the gross sales is, think of revenue share as, we pay $12,000 of a cap, and the person that sponsors you, there's a cut right off the top that's already going to the company dollar that's there. It's not baked into the P&L, so to speak, which is a little bit different. So it's actually predictable, right?
Right.
One of the things you mentioned was some market centers weren't as profitable as others.
That is correct. Correct. So market center to market center, some market centers, Lafayette was very profitable, had good management, had good sales, a good number of agents producing. I've been to other market centers and talked to agents in other market centers who are in the negative month over month, and profit shares just not been available to those agents.
Yep. So the easiest way to be, and I kind of wish I had a graphic that was set up right here, but it ends up working out. It's pretty slick how they do that. So for every 12,000, for the folks that this is kind of like EXP or KW 2.0. It's almost like the second coming of the diesel engine, right? Nobody wants to. I've never liked buying the very first one. They were innovative in the way that they did it and revolutionary. Gary Keller was revolutionary in the implementation of profit sharing, and it's never been done before. Up before previous traditional brick and mortar, once you send that money off to company dollar, it's gone. You never get a chance to be able to see that. But what ends up happening is over at Real, we take that $12,000 and 5% of it goes to the person that sponsors. Then in order to be able to unlock the second one, you've got to get 5 agents to be able to unlock the second, 15 to be able to lock the third, and it goes from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it eventually works to where every single one of those dollars, if you have enough frontline qualifying agents in your network, that you get some of those funds back. So it ends up becoming a little bit of an additional revenue stream. But instead of it based off profit, which is the profits and losses, when some of the books, depending on how those things ended up getting worked out, this is right off the top. There's no guessing. It can never move up and down. It comes right off the top, and it's there. Real's budgeted for over 50% of that revenue to be paid back to the agents to help us grow the company back. And that's one of the things that's been real advantageous to you. And we figured out you had a pretty substantial downline, 2 people that are actually in the process of being able to move in right now. Assuming they cap, you'll make more than what you did at 10 years. Mm-hmm. Quite impressive.
Sure. Yes.
Sky's the limit. And that's just a break even to be able to pop in right then and there.
Yep, it's exciting.
The other thing that ended up popping up, and a little shameless plug right here, is the elite agent over at Real. Brian, bringing the production that he's got the ability to be able to gain a good bunch of that stock back. And what does that look like? Some of the things that are tangible, stock's not necessarily tangible, but if anybody that's listening, whether you're KW or anywhere else, one of the things that I think we hear too much about, that there's no real, you can't really grasp what that happens to look like, is what's the stock? I don't really care about stock. I'm in real estate. I want to buy real estate. That's one thing that was kind of set up for you too, but you couldn't necessarily touch it. And selling the amount of homes that you sell, what ends up popping up is we actually get, without doing anything, without participating in a stock purchase program, just doing things that we already do every single day. When you cap, which is $12,000 of company dollar plus 21 transactions, you end up hitting a lead agent. What does a lead agent do? A lead agent will give you whatever that stock is at that particular month that you qualify for it. After you hit that 21st deal within that calendar year of your anniversary date, they will award you $16,000 worth of stock at what the stock is worth at that particular date, with a 3-year vesting period. Why do they do a 3-year vesting period? Well, they want to make sure that you stick around. So like I mentioned before, whenever we did company dollar before, once it's gone, it's gone. But if I stay for 3 years, my stock, if it's worth $1, whether it's worth $2.50, whether it's worth 10, 20, 30, whatever that dollar happens to be looking like, it's mine as long as I stay there for 3 years. We've actually had a little bit of a lull in the stock purchase, not the stock purchase, stock prices lately. Let's see, today, as of this recording, we're at $2.50. And strangely enough, I'm knocking on the door for elite right now, which actually means I'm going to be getting a hell of a lot more stock when it's time to be able to jump in and do all that. So that $2.50, let's see, let me get my calculator up here. 2.5. That turns into 6,400 shares. I like that number a lot. I like that number a lot. I'm a couple of transactions away from being able to hit it. It is, this is not financial advice. I'm not a stockbroker, but I can tell you Wall Street has not loved anybody real estate lately. They haven't loved the Remax, the EXPs. They haven't loved Real. They haven't loved anybody that's been on Wall Street lately. So a lot of this stuff has been suppressed, including Zillow, including a lot of the other things that are out there on the market. But I do know that all markets are cyclical. So some things end up coming up, some things end up coming down, and depending on how you end up timing those things, these things could be worth a lot more. So if I'm able to get 6,400 shares for free, you know, if this thing turns into $5 or $10, well, 6,400 times 10 turns into $64,000. I'm not saying that it's going to turn into 10. I have no idea if it's going to turn into 10. I'm the eternal optimist right here, but I do think that it's not unrealistic that any of these companies, including our competitors, the EXPs, the Keller Williams, the Remaxes, anybody that's out on the public, all of these stocks are going to essentially work their way up. And why not do it whenever you get them for just doing things that I'm already doing right now, which is selling houses, and a lot of them. And that's what you've been doing too.
Yep. I'm looking forward to using that as a tool to wake up in the morning and track.
Brian, is there anything that you want to share with folks that are potentially kicking around the thought of something, maybe a different move for you?
So, obviously, I love what I do. I love selling real estate. Whether it would have been with, any company, obviously the progression of companies, progression of real have made it more advantageous. And now's a really good time to look at what real has got to offer and talk to either me or you or anybody in real. And look, you'd be crazy to not look at the benefits that they could add to your life.
I think one of the things, man, once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Right.
Well, Brian, where can they find you if they got any questions?
337-278-3444 is my phone number.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.